Going after one do-it-yourself home improvement project that just might be on your wish list. Thanks to Joanna Gaines from the television show Fixer Upper, the look of Shiplap is really popular. This method of covering an interior wall with long horizontal planks gives interest and design to any space, but before you tackle a huge installation, there may be an easier way. We are drawing on the advice of Michelle Hinckley, who has done all types of shiplap projects. It's great to see you. Great to have you.
Thank you.
Just to make sure we're on the same page, let's define shiplap.
Oh gosh, thank you. Joanna Gaines, where would we be without shiplap? Shiplap really is very simply just boards that were in construction, kind of in older homes. When she takes down her drywall, you'll see all these cool shiplap boards. Those are just shiplap boards that were used in construction in barns, in sheds, in homes. Really, you name it.
It's amazing to think this aesthetic look that we've come to just love and obsess over was really just a form of function, right? It was covered up.
Right.
And now she's made it cool.
She put it on the map and made it so cool, and she painted it white, and now everybody wants to do it in their own homes.
Where have you done this in your home?
Everywhere. I have done it in bedrooms, I've done it in my entryway, in my stairwell, in my living room. You name it, I've had it everywhere.
You've done different variations, though, in terms of installation. Do you find there's one look, one tried and true method that you personally prefer?
There are 3 techniques that I'm going to show you today, and yes, I have sort of my favorites, but I've kind of done all of them, and I'm going to walk you through all of those. The first one that I tried was kind of the one that's really popular and people are going on Pinterest with. It's really inexpensive, and it is MDF from like Home Depot or from Lowe's, your home improvement store.
This is a lighter wood.
This is a lighter wood, and you can see here, this is MDF. It really comes in like 8x4 sheets, and look, it's really flimsy. It's about $40 to $50 a sheet. Home Depot or Lowe's will actually rip this down for you. Sometimes there's a minimal cost. And then you've got these boards. You just put them on the wall like this.
Right.
Just tack them on up, you can glue them on up, and then boom, you've got a shiplap wall, and you can paint these.
What are the pros of going with the MDF version?
Definitely the cost. This is really inexpensive, a really great, easy, do-it-yourself way to have the look in your own home. That is a really great thing that people love about this. Now, the con is that you can notice that sometimes the edges are a little bit wonky. There's a lot of character to them. When you paint these up, I don't know if we have the side by side, you'll notice that there's a lot of inconsistency to it.
You did these over your stairway, right?
I did these over my stairway, and one of the things that I noticed is it kind of bowed. It's okay if you like that look, and if you want more of a farmhouse chic look, see there's the kind of wonky edges, that's okay. Some people really like that, but I like more of a modern, clean line look, and that brings us to tongue and groove.
Tongue and groove, DIY installation number 2, option number 2. This is maybe your preference?
This is my preference. Now, it's more expensive. Tongue and groove really is just 2 boards. If you can kind of see a close-up like this, it's got these 2 little grooves here. You just simply put them together like this. They lock in. Let's see, these aren't locking in very well. But you lock them in, and then it's sort of got a V channel when you put them together. Let's see if I can do it this way.
Oh, there it goes.
Right. Now, these are more rustic looking planks. Now, Joanna Gaines is making these popular too. Instead of painting them, she is putting up really textured, rustic, very woody looking boards. And that's a really cool look too if you want that in your home. Like, check this out. This is reclaimed wood. How awesome would that look on a wall?
I don't know if I'd be brave enough to do that, would I?
Maybe in an office, it looks so great. And the way people do that is they just stick a nickel, like a coin, right between there, and then they tack them up. And to do that in an entire wall looks really spectacular.
Well, what would be the key then to decorating around that wall so this looks on purpose and finished, where it's so rough and rustic, do you think?
You know, it really is just a matter of your personal preference. Maybe you're doing sort of a man cave. That might look really cool in there. Or sometimes people will do this really rustic look, and then they'll put a modern print or a modern, beautiful picture on the wall to contrast it. There's so many ideas you can do with it. But for my own purposes, I haven't done a wall like this, but I have really liked the tongue and groove, where you just put these 2 things together and then you paint them up. Now, you can see these come in all sorts of wood: pine, walnut, reclaimed wood.
Different widths, too.
Different widths, right. All kinds of options.
Okay, we promised 3 different installation options. So we talked about the MDF. Inexpensive, kind of looks a little rough. Your favorite, probably the tongue and groove, sleek, chic, different kind of applications and styles that you can pull off with that one installation technique. What's the third?
Okay, so the third one I did in my living room, and I have these shelves that are in my, kind of around my fireplace. They're very shallow, so I was afraid that even this width, even though it's not much, would take too much into my shelves. So I decided to, I looked at some pictures of shiplap on Pinterest, and I thought, really, the only thing that is setting those things apart is there's just a line that makes it look like there's a shadow between two boards.
Hold on, you did a black shiplap wall?
I did a black shiplap wall.
Is that allowed? We're used to just seeing white or wood.
Yes, I kind of went off the deep end and I went black, and you can see the lines right there. It really does look like shiplap.
You went to the dark side, and I love it. That looks so chic.
Good.
I think for any modern decorator out there who thinks shiplap is way too rustic, way too farmhouse chic for their style, here's proof in the picture that just a color change can take it into a different design aesthetic.
Exactly, yes.
Cool, Michelle, I love it. So you painted that.
So I painted this, and it was really sort of simple. The first thing I did was I just drew lines on my wall. I don't know if you get a close up there, but those are just pencil, just pencil lines. Then I took some frog tape and I taped them right around, so there's about a nickel width between each line. And then I just took my paintbrush and I painted right there. The key to this is using paint that is different sheen than what you have on your base. So if this is an eggshell, use a flat paint, because the light is going to shine off that differently and give it the appearance of actually being a shadow instead of all the same sheen.
Okay, hold on, that's genius. You wouldn't think that subtle little line would make that big of a difference, but your point just totally makes sense, that the sheen, the way the light reflects on the wall, is going to help create that illusion.
Exactly. And some people say, well, why can't I just use a Sharpie marker and just draw a line?
Michelle, why can't I use a Sharpie marker and just draw a line?
Because it's going to be the same sheen as usually the base paint. And you want to make sure that this line has a different texture than the base paint.
So the small groove line you want to be flat.
Correct.
Flatter than the sheen that's on the actual wall.
Right, right. And when you see light shine off that, you're going to understand why, because it actually looks like a shadow between two boards.
So you then painted your whole wall black with a kind of an eggshell sheen, went through, then taped it off, and did the flat lines.
Right, a shade darker than what was on the wall, so it actually looks like not only a different contrast in color, but also the sheen.
So we've been seeing the pictures. It looks amazing. Describe the effect in person. Can you tell it's not really shiplap?
No one can tell,
really?
Which is the real, it's a dead ringer. People have walked into my home and said, oh, you've got a shiplap wall. And people don't even believe that I actually painted this on. So yeah, it actually tricks people.
Is there a good, I mean, I don't want to say space, because obviously we've just talked about how this can apply to any space in your home, but as far as the actual wall you choose to do this painted shiplap technique, is there any criteria for what makes it work so well, what makes it such a dead ringer?
Gosh, no. You know, you can really do this on any wall in your home. And the other thing that I love about this is, okay, so this is a trend. It's been around forever, but it's sort of a trend. I'm worried that people, and I'm not saying don't do it, but I'm worried that like in 2030, people are going to walk into a home and be like, oh, this whole house has got shiplap. And then they're going to say, oh, that's 2017. The thing about this is if you get tired of it, or if it goes out of style, you can just paint over it and do the next big trend.
Right, it's just a coat of wall paint.
Right.
Would the white paint, if you selected different sheens, give the same effect, do you think, or do you think it's so cool because it's a darker color?
Well, of course, I did it because I really wanted, I was kind of trying to stay away from the white and do something totally different. And that was an experiment that worked. But I have seen people do this with white walls. You can even do a gray paint. If you study pictures online, really the thing that makes it look like shiplap is just shadows, is just contrast in colors. Even if you have shiplap in your own home, you'll notice that there's a kind of a grade from sort of a gray to a white to a black. So, I mean, if you're really artsy, which I'm not, you can really go in there and do some different shading.
Yeah.
But this works just fine.
Oh my gosh, I'm just smitten with the whole effect. The dark too looks fantastic. That's usually not my jam. So you have the full tutorial for us on your website. Any other fun projects coming up for 2018? We'll jump ahead.
Wow, gosh. Yes, I don't know right now, but yes, I do.
Of course. All right, we'll send you over. What's your website?
4 Men, 1 Lady, the number 4, the number 1.
Look for the link on our website. Very cool. Thanks for breaking it down for us and for showing that awesome black shiplap wall. Who knew? That's a new step up. All right.